team, hope you all are doing well. Today's topic, I want to go over how many miles a week should you run in order to run a sub 3-hour marathon. And I have been asked this numerous times over the years, and as far as running fast for the marathon distance, especially if you're trying to break 3 hours for the marathon, you don't have to get so caught up in high mileage, okay? It's the quality of the mileage that you're doing which is the most important aspect of preparing properly for the marathon. A sub 3-hour marathon, you definitely have to have a level of talent. I mean, you're not going to be able to run 6 minutes and 52 seconds per mile or 4:16 per kilometer without having some form of physiological capability. Now, granted, if you're, like I've said in the past, it's very important. If you are lacking talent, you can definitely make up for it with your work ethic, but you are definitely going to have to put in the heavy work, and you have to train smart. As far as mileage is concerned, in regards to how much mileage should you run per week in order to run a sub 3-hour marathon, I think it taps out right around 70 miles. And even some of the world's top distance running coaches state the same thing. Dr. Joe Vigil is an example of that. He was a mentor of mine, and a real good close friend of Jack Hazen, who was my collegiate coach. And we all are training at Malone University when I was training under Coach Hazen. Revolved our training, and our training philosophy revolved around Dr. Vigil's training philosophy. And even he states right around 65 to 70 miles, if you're trying to break 2 hours and 30 minutes, you're going to focus more on around 85 to 90 miles per week. Now, there's some athletes that prefer to run higher mileage. I have experienced that myself as well. I felt like running higher mileage was the answer for me to break my personal best for the marathon, which is 2 hours, 19 minutes, and 35 seconds. I got up to 142 miles a week. All it did was leave me fatigued and tired. So, and I ran my PR for the marathon on 85 to 90 miles a week. So it kind of really ties into what Coach Vigil was saying. You know, I tapped out right around, like I said, right around 90 miles. So when you're training for a sub 3-hour marathon, make sure you're focused on a longer buildup rather than a shorter buildup. You're going after an elite time, in my opinion. Anything really under 3 hours, you really have to be in superior physical fitness. You have to be very strong mentally as well, because again, you're running at very high quality running intensities. You know, you have to run an average of 6 minutes and 52 seconds per mile, or an average of 4 minutes and 16 seconds per kilometer. So you have to have a very high capability of clearing lactic acid faster than it's building up. And the only way to do that is to make sure that you're sprinkling in enough anaerobic training in your training week. You're not just running easy every single day. You're not just running easy on those long runs. To break a 3-hour marathon, you're for sure going to have to make sure that you are alternating a faster long run one weekend, followed by the next weekend by an easy, relaxed long run. Those varied pace long runs I talk about, that type of strategy is new for most athletes. And the athletes that are starting to use that tactic are setting big personal bests. You know, example of that is Rudy Reyes, who bought one of my 16-week sub 240 marathon training plans. He wanted to break 2 hours and 40 minutes. He went out and ran 2 hours, 35 minutes, and 59 seconds. And sure, he wasn't able to always hit every single workout that was in that training plan, but it's a guide, it's a guesstimate. You know, it's to give you an idea of what types of workouts you need to be doing, the intensities you need to be hitting them at, and the rest periods in between those hard anaerobic workouts that you do. So recovery is essential too. In terms of your mileage, in aiming for a sub 3-hour marathon, again, don't get so caught up in the volume you're doing. Focus on the quality versus the quantity. Okay, I do think runners that are aiming to break a sub 3-hour marathon need to focus on anywhere from around 65 to 70 miles a week. And again, look at how you're setting up your training. You know, the resources on RunDreamAchieve.com, the training courses that I've created, the training plans that I've made. And obviously I do offer monthly coaching with athletes that really want to work with me one-on-one. There is that option as well. But those courses that I teach, I really try to cover as in depth and as in detail as I can on the proper way to train for the half marathon and the marathon distances. For the training plans, it's the same setup. Training for a mile and training for a marathon up to the marathon distance, the training philosophy is pretty much the same in terms of being a universal mindset of making sure you're focusing on recovery, knowing that the benefits of your hard training come within the rest period. It doesn't come from just the workout. The workouts will make you 2 to 3 times weaker immediately after that workout's done. But it's the hours after you do a speed training workout, a fartlek workout, hill repetitions, or a long run, or a tempo run. It's the hours after that hard anaerobic workout that you do. That's where the main recovery and the benefits of the hard anaerobic training you're doing, or the aerobic training that you're doing, comes into play. So in order to break a sub 3 hour marathon, like I said, you do have to have a decent amount of volume, and you have to be consistent. Okay, there are very few athletes that I've known over the years that were able to break a 3 hour marathon on running 2 days a week, or running 15 to 20 miles a week. It can be done, but there are very few athletes that are able to break this particular time barrier with that minimal amount of volume. So yes, you do still, I'm talking about quality over quantity. Quantity is still important, but you have to do a mixture of both very, very fast anaerobic training so that you stress the energy systems of the body adequately. But you also still have to do volume. You still have to put in consistent mileage on a consistent basis. You can't just be lukewarm and have a lukewarm interest and break a 3 hour marathon. It is a very, very fast time. I wish more athletes realized how competitive that particular time barrier is. It's an extremely tough time. They look at athletes that break 2:30 or maybe break 2 hours and 20 minutes, and other athletes consider a sub 3 hour marathon as just a decent time. No, that is an elite time, and I know there's a lot of athletes out there that are training to break this barrier. I also created a course called the Sub 3 Hour Marathon Pro Course, and that's for athletes that are fully committed. They truly want to break the 3 hour barrier in the marathon. They're highly disciplined, very, very focused on getting to that next level in the marathon event. And so definitely check that out on RunDreamAchieve.com. The particular page on RunDreamAchieve.com that really focuses on that sub 3 hour marathon pro course will give you a little bit more in-depth overview of what the course entails. And that's really what I want to do with all my courses and training plans. I do want to continue to improve them and make them better for the athlete. And again, I want you all to make sure that you're using leverage. Okay, train smarter, not harder. Okay, if you're running high mileage and you're running too much of that mileage too aerobically, too easily, it's going to be very, very hard to run any distance at race pace and to be able to be very efficient at clearing lactic acid. So you have to train the energy systems of the body sufficiently enough so that you get the benefit, so that, again, you continue to push the body hard, you rest, you adapt, continue to push the body hard, and you continue to repeat that particular cycle. A longer buildup is better, okay? Preferably 16 weeks for a marathon if you're aiming for a sub 3 hour marathon, but the minimal amount I would recommend is 16 weeks, preferably 20 to 24 weeks. So 5 to 6 week or 5 to 6 month buildup will get you better results because you're not rushing your fitness. You're not jumping intensities in the improper way. You need to first build your aerobic base, have a strong foundation of mileage built first, coupled with doing strides twice per week, and then you start working in marathon specific training, speed development training, hill repetitions, really focusing on being able to really stress the body hard anaerobically on the track and on the roads, and then making sure that you start lessening the amount of recovery in between each one of your intervals. You're not going to be able to do that early on when you're not anaerobically fit, but you have to start somewhere. So again, mileage, yes, you still have to put in a decent amount. I'd say, like I said, in terms of how many miles a week should you run in order to run a sub 3 hour marathon, is around 65 to 70 miles. And if you have any other questions in regards to breaking the 3 hour marathon, feel free to leave me a comment below this video. Make sure to check out all the resources below all my videos if you're interested in coaching, or you're interested in a training plan or a running course to take your training and your racing to the next level. I definitely, without question, am certain that if you follow the fundamentals that I cover and the tactics and strategies that I discuss in these courses and training plans, you are going to set a new personal best. And I look forward to hearing about your sub 3 hour marathon barrier that you've broken. And if this is a goal of yours, feel free to leave me a comment. Let me know where your current personal best is for the marathon and what particular race you're going for and where you want to go after your sub 3 hour marathon. I definitely look forward to hearing that as well. So I wish you all the best, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.